Hi, kindergartners. I'm so excited to see you this week. I can't believe it's already been one whole week of school. That feels so nuts to me. I'm really glad you're here, and I'm so excited to share. Okay, I really love books. If you haven't figured that out, I'll always read a book because I love them so much. We're going to read one of my favorite books to get us started today, and this is called The Day the Crayons Quit. This book is written by Drew DeWalt and illustrated by Oliver Jeffers. So Drew DeWalt wrote all of the words, and Oliver Jeffers drew all of the pictures. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I love to do voices. I know I told you last week, but the voices that I do for this book are a little extra. The Day the Crayons Quit. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. To Duncan. Hey, Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all of the Santas at Christmas and all of the hearts on Valentine's. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes and dragons and wizard hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I'm neither. I'm beige and I'm proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. In Kansas, we really like wheat though. Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know that you love elephants, and I know that elephants are gray, but that's a lot of space to color by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those big things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are gray, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time, I'm the same color as the page you are using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. Can you see him? He's right there. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outlines of things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in all the other colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I am writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my workloads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs, and I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green's career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends, Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other because both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we're no longer speaking. And I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal, and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I'm clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday, you used me to color the sun on both Monkey Island and Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Aren't you glad I'm here? Haha, you're a pal. And the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, it's been great being your favorite crayon this past year, and the year before that, and the year before that. I've really enjoyed all the oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I'm so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Duncan! Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister that I said thank you for using me to color in her Little Princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur, or monster, or cowboy? Goodness knows they could all use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. Psst. Hey, Duncan. It's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and I'm too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have on any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help! Your naked friend, Peach Crayon. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color. And of course he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring. And an A+ for creativity. I hope you really enjoyed that book as much as I do. I love to make the silly voices. I think that's why I like this book so much. And I like it because you think about if your crayon had a personality, how sad they would be with some of the crayons being used more than others. If you want to hear this book read to you again, you can replay me, or you can get on YouTube and there's lots of read alouds of this book. We're going to start today by drawing our very own crayon family. So here's my example that I drew. This is my crayon family, and it might look familiar because I kind of did the crayons that are on the front of the book. The first thing you need today to get started is a white piece of paper. Let's start by putting our name on the back. This is a really good habit. I know you're at home and your art won't get mixed up, but you're going to come back to school someday, and one of those days you're going to need to put your name on your homework. So I'm going to write Miss Smith. You don't write Miss Smith. That's not your name. Remember, if at any time I go too fast or I stand here and I'm just staring at you, it's because I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to catch up to me. If you need to press pause, just promise you won't freeze me in a silly face. Or you can, and then you can laugh at me and it will be okay. All right, we're going to flip it over so that our name is on the back. And I'm going to scoot you guys back just a little bit and grab my crayons down here. Hopefully you have some materials at your house that you can use. And I need my handy dandy marker. And we're going to start drawing. So the first thing I want you to do is pull out your crayons. And let's take a look at our crayons. I have Crayola. I like Crayola crayons, but any crayon that colors is going to work. Now, a crayon is actually a cylinder. A cylinder means that it has a circle base and it has a rectangular body. We're going to start by just focusing on the rectangle portion. Just a rectangle. Remember, a rectangle is a shape that has two long sides and two short sides. It is different than a square because a square has all sides that are even. I like to think of a rectangle as a really skinny square. Can you say that word? Rectangle. Let's try it. Rectangle. Good work. We're going to start, when we draw our crayon, to draw a rectangle. Then let's look back at that crayon again. What shape, now this is not a very fresh crayon. If this is a brand new fresh crayon, I don't even think I have any in here. It would be super pointy. If it's a really well-loved crayon, oh my goodness, I would have to peel the wrapping paper off this because it is so flat. But let's pretend that the top is actually that cone shape, and we're going to flatten it and draw a triangle. A triangle has three sides, and it has a point on each corner. Today's shapes that we need to draw a crayon are a rectangle and a triangle. Can you say triangle? We didn't practice that one. Triangle. Very good. Now we're going to take those shapes and we're going to put them together to create our crayon. First, pick a color crayon for your crayon family that you want to start with. Since I already had orange, I'm just going to stick with orange. And I'm going to start by drawing that same shape that I just told you about, that rectangle with a triangle on top. So I'm going to draw 2 long lines, 2 short lines, and then I'm going to put a triangle on top. Now that's my first crayon shape. How does yours look? Was it a little bit hard? I know drawing the triangle on top is hard. If you just draw a diagonal to the middle and a diagonal back down, think about a roof on a house. That should help you with your triangle shape. If your triangle's a little bit wonky, it's okay, because a lot of these, after you use them, they're not even a perfect triangle anyway, so it's just a used crayon. Take that same color that you're working with, and we're going to color our whole crayon in. I'm coloring in one direction, taking my time, really trying to stay inside my lines. Nice. How does your first crayon look? Are you still coloring yours? I'll give you some time. I need to find my next color. And remember, if I go too fast, you just press pause. But make sure I'm making a really good face when you do it. Now, would you find a black crayon? Because this sort of looks like a crayon, but it's missing some details that really make it look like a crayon. The first detail I want to add is when I'm looking at my crayon, especially Crayola, I notice that the wrapper has these 2 little kind of black squiggles on it. So at the bottom and the top of my crayon, I want to add some squiggly lines. Then I notice that the belly of my crayon has this big oval shape, and it says the brand of the crayon inside of it. Why don't you take your black and make an oval shape? Now you can leave your crayon like that, but since I'm making a crayon family and I want all my crayons to actually come to life, I'm going to use my black and I'm going to add some more details. I'm going to give it some eyeballs and a big smile, and mine's going to be kind of dancing, and so it's going to have its arms up and it's going to have feet. Is yours doing anything crazy, or did you just draw a plain crayon? Either way is fine. Now the last thing I'm going to do to finish up this crayon is I'm going to make this crayon actually drawing something, and I want it to be drawing a wavy line. So out of its head, I'm drawing a wavy line across my page. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my next color of crayon. Can you grab your next color of crayon? I think this time I want to use turquoise. You can use whatever color you want. Now on this crayon, you can make it the same size, or maybe it's a taller crayon or a small crayon. Remember the crayon in the book, the blue crayon, he got used so much he was short and stubby. I'm going to make a short and stubby crayon. I'm going to start again with that rectangle. 2 vertical lines, 2 horizontal lines, and 2 diagonals at the top. This guy is a little short and stubby. I like him. We're going to follow that same step. We're going to take our crayon and we're going to color it in one direction. action. Very nice. We're going to go back in with that black and we're going to add those details again. So wavy lines across the top and the bottom. An oval for the belly. Some eyeballs. This guy's like, whoa! He's going to be surprised. I'm going to give him some surprised eyebrows. He's excited. And his arms are going to be up. And some legs down. Now I want to make my blue crayon drawing a line too, but I don't think I want to do a wavy line this time. I think instead I'm going to do a zigzag line. Ooh, and it overlapped my wavy line. It went on top of it. Nice. You're going to keep repeating these steps. I would like to see you have at least 5 crayons on your page. I would like to see you have 5 crayons on your page. So if you look here at my example, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 crayons on my page. Each one of my crayons is drawing a different line. My red crayon is drawing scalloped lines. My blue crayon is drawing a really fat blue line. My yellow crayon, it's hard for you to see, but he's drawing like a hashed line like you would see in the road. Purple went a little wild and crazy and did a loop-de-loop, kind of did their own thing. And then green did that zigzag line. How many different lines can you come up with for your crayon picture? When you get all 5 crayons done, then it's time to make sure your crayons aren't just floating. Right now, my crayons are floating in space. They have nowhere to stand. These crayons up here are standing on a floor. I'm going to do the same thing for my crayons that I'm working on, but these crayons, I want them to be outside in the grass. So I'm going to draw a green line, and I'm going to color it in with some grass. I don't want my crayons to be floating. When you get everything finished today, here's what I'd like you to do for the remainder of your time. You can show someone in your family how to draw a crayon using the 2 shapes. You can continue working on your art project that we were doing today. You can make a brand new version for someone that you care about. You can go on YouTube and you can watch Drew DeWalt read this book again. Or there's a really great sequel called The Day the Crayons Came Home. You could have someone read that to you, or you could watch it read aloud on YouTube. Parents, if you're listening, we are working so hard to get the remote kids access to our Canvas. I do have supplemental things. I just have no way to share them with you for today. That's why I listed these items that your kid can do in their supplemental time. Also remember that just drawing, practicing cutting, following any how to draw tutorials, all of that procedural knowledge is really, really good for kids. So if you don't want to do any of these items and you just want to draw and practice some of those fine motors, you can do that as well. Next week, I have been promised that we will have all of that stuff linked up and I'll be able to share it with you and show you all of the additional things that I've been working on. I have really enjoyed this challenge of having to teach in a room by myself to a computer, but it makes my heart warm to know that on the other side there are little people creating art. So please enjoy every moment of learning with your child. Know that I love and care about each one of you. I hope you had a great time today drawing the crayons with me. I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, I think we're going to do a cut paper project. So if you think about it, make sure you have some scissors and glue with you next week, okay? Love and miss you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, happy coloring.